Hello and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where we are going to be building up to the all-important Copa del Rey semi-final clash against Atletico Madrid, with the first leg right here coming on Tuesday night at home at Montjuic, and it's very, very important that we get the ball rolling. We cannot afford here to give Atletico any room to manoeuvre heading back to their home stadium in the second leg. And coming up today, we're going to be talking all about Hansi Flick's potential starting lineup, the game to come, including the fitness and availability of Lamine Yamal, and pre-match predictions coming here today, along with news on Vitor Roque's potential exit from the club. It's all happening. So come on, guys, and let's do this. Because make no mistake about it at all, guys, this right here is a meeting between two teams this season who, let's be honest, they have been absolutely fantastic. I mean, when you're looking here at the league table as a guide to sort of understand where they've been, I mean, all season long, Barça and Atleti, they've been incredibly consistent there. They've been neck and neck in the league after 25 games right now. They are only separated in the table by just a single point. And when you look here at the recent form of the two teams, you can understand why there is such momentum for both of them coming into this game. Of course, Barca have put a real run together, I think, in 2025. We've gone back up a level. You know, we started to really recapture that confidence again, to really start going on a run. Now, Atletico Madrid themselves, they had a real winning streak going as well in La Liga, and only recently have they had maybe a few draws in there, which have set them back a few points, but they have been electric, and certainly the likes of Julian Alvarez really starting to catch fire and really acclimatise to Atletico Madrid right now. And when you're looking as well at the head-to-head meetings between these two, of course, Barca have had some fantastic wins over the past few seasons. There's some really, really good victories, scored a lot of goals against Atleti, which very, very few teams do. But of course, guys, the one that sticks out in the mind right now, it's actually the most recent meeting there, when Atletico Madrid came to our home and they won. And let's be honest, it should never have happened. You know, the way that we played in that game, the performance that we were putting in, we felt as though we were on top. We took the lead in that game, and we let it slip away. It was the last game before the end of the year. Atleti scored the winner in the 96th minute of the game. And I think, to be honest, we'll feel as though there's unfinished business here. We have some things to put right in this Copa del Rey semi-final. And this game, of course, right here, it marks the beginning of some massive, massive games to come. And you just get the feeling right now, in this campaign, it's really starting to hot up now. You're entering the end of February, start of March, some real crunch games coming up. Of course, we've got the Champions League set to resume very, very soon against Benfica. You've also got a league meeting in there midway through March against Atletico Madrid away. But I do have to say this right now, guys. If you think that our fixture list, our schedule here, is a demanding one, well, how about you have a look at what Diego Simeone is going to be coming up against? Because they will play Barca, then Athletic Club, who right now are on fire. They won 7-1 at the weekend. Then they go away to Real Madrid and then Getafe, who can be incredibly difficult to face for different kinds of reasons. They'll then play Real Madrid again in the Champions League reverse leg, and then Barca. So Atleti right now, they will really, really be pushed in these weeks to come. But indeed, guys, today in Barca training, it was very much a celebratory feel, because today, very special day indeed, it's Hansi Flick's birthday. He turns 60 years old today, and I've got to be honest with you, I was shocked when I heard that there. I personally believe here that Hansi Flick, he looks fantastic for 60. I've got to say that there. So a very big congratulations for him. He was actually presented with a cake upon his arrival to the sports city this morning. And then in training, the players gave him the customary birthday celebration there. There's no exceptions. Even for Hansi Flick, you know, he got a few pats, he got a few thumps on the way through, and he had to make his way through the crowd of players. And I've got to say, guys, it's great to see this kind of chemistry within the squad there, even between players and coach. You know, there's a really good feeling there, really good relationships and a great camaraderie within the group. So Barca right now, they're feeling good, they are looking good, and we are ready to deliver in the semi-final tomorrow. However, guys, we may have to do it without Lamine Yamal. Now, that is a real difficult situation for Hansi Flick to manage ahead of such an important game like this, because you will have noticed after the game at the weekend against Las Palmas, Lamine Yamal on Instagram, he posted this photo right here, and that, I've got to say, that looks like a really nasty blow there to the foot. Clearly blood actually coming right the way through his sock, and he actually captioned that there by saying, "It's not a foul, though." And I mean, I think he cannot believe some of the challenges that he has to suffer, that he's not really being protected by referees. And unfortunately, Yamal, he did not train with the rest of the group this morning. So right now, he is a doubt for the game against Atletico Madrid. But what's important to note right now is that he's not ruled out, because this is not necessarily here, a muscle problem. It's not really a serious injury or anything like that. It's very much about a knock, an impact injury here that can heal. He could be available tomorrow. And today, Hansi Flick said, we are going to have to wait and see. We're not ruling anything out at this point, but we're going to wait until tomorrow to make a decision to understand if Lamine will be available. And he did say, I really hope to have him as part of my squad right there. So Flick is hoping that Yamal will be back in time. Of course, again, we always have to stress, we don't want to rush him, we don't want to push him. We're hearing that no pain-killing injections or anything like that will be given to Yamal, which I think is absolutely the right decision. But I think in La Liga this season, he suffered 64 fouls. Certainly he's being targeted by the opposition. He's one of the most dangerous players in the league. Obviously, he's going to come under a bit more scrutiny than others, but we have to protect him. I've said before, he's one of the most exciting players, entertaining players. You want players like this in your league, so protect him at the very least. And today, Flick showed a bit of frustration. He said if a yellow card is not given for a foul, straight away, then it will happen again and again and again. So yeah, the players must be protected. He said in Spain, everybody likes to see players that excel in 1-versus-1 situations. That's what makes the football here so special, so we must protect them. So we're going to have to wait and see whether Yamal is going to make it in time. It is touch and go right now, but I've got a feeling he may well be involved. But in terms of the starting lineup coming into this game, guys, I think Hansi Flick has a number of really interesting and really big calls to make here. Because first of all, in goal, well, is it still going to be Wojciech Szczesny, of course? Because given that it is the Copa del Rey here, it's not the league, it's a cup game, you'd think maybe could Peña come back in? Could this be an opportunity to give him some minutes? But there's every indication it will still be Szczesny. He is going to play every game where he's available, and that will continue against Atletico Madrid. Of course, we're going to see Jules Koundé, Alejandro Balde. We are hearing that Inigo Martinez, he was rested against Las Palmas. He is 100% going to be back in the starting lineup for this one. So who then is going to partner him? Of course, the favourite would be Pau Kubasi. Eric played at the weekend. Now, if Araujo doesn't start in this game, it would mark the third successive match that he started on the bench there. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on. Will Araujo be on the bench again? Will Kubasi get the expected starts alongside Inigo Martinez? Pedri, of course, is going to be in midfield. And again, it's the same question. Is this game more suited to Marc Gasardo, or is it more suited to Frenkie de Jong? Those are big calls there for Flick to make in midfield. I could potentially see Frenkie de Jong returning to the lineup here in the Copa, but at the same time, I could understand if you went with Gasardo. I think his skill set could be used in this game. You could certainly use him in some of the physical battles, but Frenkie, of course, can help us progress up the field. It may well be him who starts there. Then, of course, you've got the likes of Gavi to choose from in the advanced area. Fermin Lopez started at the weekend. But for me, guys, with the way that he's playing right now, it just has to be Olmo. In my opinion, he has been so good in 2 successive games where he's come on and immediately made that impact. Absolutely wonderful goal at the weekend, and you might need something like that against Atletico Madrid. The times they're going to defend very deep, they're going to shut down the spaces, you're going to need somebody in there who can orchestrate, who can make things happen, and Dani Olmo has been absolutely brilliant in these past games, coming on and doing just that. And if there is no Lamine Yamal, I mean, what are you going to do? Because obviously Rafinha is going to play. You'd imagine Lewandowski would, but there have been a few doubts about that. He wasn't particularly good at the weekend, was he? But could we actually see maybe, if Yamal is not there, Lewandowski starting, but also playing Ferran as well, who could take up there a more wide position, but make some central runs as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what Flick does if Yamal isn't there. I think if he can play, if he's going to be available, Flick will play him. He certainly doesn't hold back from that. He's certainly happy enough to do that there with Yamal, but I think if not, most likely Ferran is the player who's making an impact, who's showing that they can definitely contribute there with goals in any area, really, of the field, and his runs against Atleti, they could become very, very important, guys. But what do you think there about that potential lineup? But if we do indeed now move on to the predictions coming into this one here, and again, we're going to be using SofaScore here to get a deeper understanding of the two teams coming up against each other. This is the records right here in La Liga. Barca dominating many categories head-to-head, but as you would maybe expect, Atletico Madrid on the defensive side of things under Diego Simeone, really tight, of course, in that area. But if we actually look here at the prediction section, who do I believe will win this game? Well, I am, surprise, I am going to go with Barca here. I'm going to opt for them going for the win. And I've got to say on SofaScore right now, 76% of people who have got involved in the voting, 50,000 of you, believe that Barca will come out on top. Will both teams score, though, in this game? I would also have to say yes. I think this could be a game here, Atleti, like they did before. They may well claim a goal, maybe even two of them, but I still believe that Barca will score, and I do think we will open the scoring in this game, guys. So if you would like to get involved with your own predictions here to be part of the community on SofaScore, you can download that using the link in the description below, and that also is a big help to the channel, guys, if you do follow that link. So thank you very much indeed. But I just hope we can do it here. I hope we can come into this game and just bring some of our big match performances. You know, we've seen it all season long. In these kinds of games, these kinds of occasions, when the stakes are really bumped up, we can step up, we can play, we can mix it with the best of them. And it's time to do that yet again on Tuesday night, guys. But I also just want to give you, before we end here, an update on the future of Vitor Roque. He, of course, has been linked with an exit from the club, and he had a bit of a turbulent week last week. He was actually sent off in Real Betis' UEFA Conference League game in midweek. He only then played 10 minutes for them at the weekend, and he is actually closing in on leaving Barca permanently here, cutting that loan deal short at Real Betis and joining Palmeiras in Brazil, heading back to his native country, of course. The agreement right now is in place between Barca and Palmeiras for 25 million euros. That there is a fixed fee. That is big money actually coming back in for Barca, and they will also have a 20% sell-on clause there. So they've managed to negotiate a 25 million euro deal, 20% sell-on clause. But as always, guys, whenever, Barca are involved in a transfer operation, you just know lurking around some corner is either La Liga or the Spanish Federation, the RFEF. And actually, in this case right now, it's both of them, because what we are hearing in the media is, despite Barca agreeing that deal with Palmeiras, everything going well on that side, La Liga and the RFEF, they're holding it up. They are currently sort of freezing this deal due to some legal issues. They're not satisfied with something in there. They are not willing to approve the exit, the sale of Roque right now. So that is why it has not gone through, and it cannot go through as of right now, guys. So we're going to see what happens on that. That is the latest update right now. Let's hope we can go out there tomorrow, put on a show, and get ourselves ahead in this Copa del Rey semi-final first leg. Let me know your predictions down below. Let me know as well on the SofaScore app. Really appreciate all of your support, guys. I will see you soon. But until next time, as always, Vejka, Barça.